everyone, this is my sewing machine Blaine. He's good. This is what I use for lace. This is for the lady I was talking to on Facebook. I have my pattern loaded, so that's 4 bookmarks. They're free from Lian. Just Google Lian Stitch, and it's in German, so you just translate it with Google Translate. So I'm just going to reset the pattern to the start because I've just finished a pattern. Now, you would like to know lace from start to finish, so this is my hoop. I'm using a big hoop. I know you've only got a 4x4 hoop, but this should help. This is a 6x10 hoop because you said you wanted to get a big hoop later on. So there's the hoop and there's my hand. I have a very big hand, so so I've got the pattern going. Now I've wound a bobbin with the same thread as I'm using in the top. So the top's already threaded, my needle's threaded, and I have the bobbin in there. It looks purple because I'm using actually a coloured red bobbin, but the thread is blue, as the same as the top thread. Okay, so you hoop your water-soluble stabilizer. Now this is the Violin I told you about. It's a fabric-like stuff. It's not like the stuff you put on towels. It's actually a fabric, and it does wash away with warm to hot water, so you can have your lace. So you just so you do your bobbin and your top thread, and then you put your hoop. It's hard to do it one-handed, but you put your hoop in the machine just like you would for embroidery, except you only have the stabilizer. So that's your fabric. Okay, so you put your foot down and you start sewing. Alright, so it'll sew for you just like that. Alright, now what I'll do is while that's sewing, if it's hard to hear me, I'm sorry, but that's him sewing. There's my computer. This is one that I've just finished. Now what I did was I left one halfway through to show you. Okay, see that? See how if the tension's not quite right, you get little loops, which I put the tension off on purpose, so you have to play around with your tension. I found out that 4.3 works pretty good on my brother, that every brother is different. But yeah, there's a finished one, and you just wash it out with hot water. So you just take it to your sink and you just dip it in hot water and it'll come out. The more you wash it, the less stiff it will be when you're finished. So if you want a really stiff project, say for a 3D swan or a bookmark, you just wash it just enough so it's not sticky. But if you wash it out too much and you need it stiff again, just use some of your scrap. So like the scrap here, just use some of your scrap and dissolve it in a bit of water and just spritz it on and then set it with the iron. So these, when they're finished, will actually curl up. So you do have to press them with the iron once you're finished. But there it is sewing onto the thing. So it's not much different than doing an embroidery design. And there's not much to look out for except loops. You don't want loops. And if you have a brother, so your machine will tell you when the bobbins run out. Wind a few bobbins before you start your project. Make sure you've got a lot of bobbins spare, because you'll have to use a lot of bobbin, because remember, the bobbin uses as much as the top thread in freestanding lace. So there's my top thread there behind my machine. I'm using a Creek Creations blue. It's a really pretty blue, as you can see here. And so there you go. If there's anything else I need to tell you, let me know. And a trick I learned is sit your thread behind your machine and bring it up through the machine, through here and through your little thread guide and down through when you're doing lace, because the thread seems to travel through quicker and you get a lot more breaks if you don't do that, if you just sit it in your thread guide, so like your thread spool holder. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time you need something.